Not the news that York Region wanted to hear. Joining me now is Mayor Maurizio Bevilacqua of Vaughan. Mayor, your reaction, please, to the news that York is now going to be effective on Monday in lockdown.
Well, we did all we could to present a very united front at the York Region, and as well following the advice of our medical officer, Dr. Kurji. The province obviously has more information and has a more comprehensive view of what's going on, not only in our area, but surrounding areas, which also affect us. So basically, the narrative now needs to change, Stephanie, because quite frankly, the virus is going to be around for a while. And I am one of these people that believes that we'll probably have a third or fourth wave, which leads me to fundamentally look at a more important question. What are we willing to do to live with the virus if it's going to be around for this long? What does it mean for the healthcare system? What does it mean for business? What does it mean for the health of Canadians, Ontarians, and indeed citizens of Vaughan? I do think that the narrative needs to change because this is lasting longer than most people thought it would, and also it's really having an impact on the psychology of individuals who have actually seen these lockdowns occur more than once. So I do think that now it's time to really consolidate all that we have learned from the first and second wave, and also begin to really redefine how we are going to live through this pandemic.
Keeping in mind, though, the reality of the vaccine, I know that the larger population likely won't be vaccinated till next September, but it does change that narrative.
It does change that narrative. It's very good news. However, if there's a third and fourth wave, as I think there will be down the road, what we need to do is to find a way to really accommodate the virus, for lack of better words, because if it's going to be part of our everyday reality, we can't let it win all the time by having these lockdowns. On the other hand, of course, we have to assess the type of resources that are available in our healthcare system. Perhaps we have to augment them if we are going to deal with this virus in the manner which I think is proper.
So are you talking testing? Are you more aggressive testing? Is that what you're getting at in that sense?
Or more aggressive testing, but also more resources. You know, there were 3 CEOs in York Region that actually stated that they were at the brink just a week or so ago. And the question I have is, why are we at the brink? Is it lack of resources? These are questions that we need to address, because if it's going to be here for a duration that exceeds our expectations, then what we need to do is to equip the healthcare system to deal with this reality. And at the same time, remember that we also have an economy to run, because at the end of the day, the economy is what keeps the wheels in motion.
Yesterday,
I don't want to be misinterpreted at all. The reality is that healthcare is, of course, paramount importance, but there are some certain realities that, in fact, the healthcare of Canadians is being impacted by unemployment, lower economic growth, and so on.
Dr. David Williams, the province's chief medical officer, mentioned yesterday how, they had to do more to flatten the curve. He's noticed out in the general community, yes, we're in lockdown, but so many people out on the roads, people more mobile than they were during the first lockdown. Yes, schools are open. But Mayor, do you hold any resentments toward people maybe from other lockdown regions who might have visited York Region and helped lead to this situation that York is now in?
Well, this is not a time for resentment towards anybody. We're in this together, not just here in the city of Vaughan and York Region, the province, but indeed our country. This is not a time to finger point or to divide people based on where they live or whether they're coming to our region. The real important thing, Stephanie, is that people need to follow the rules, right? That is really, throughout this global pandemic, what has become very evident to everybody, or at least it should be evident to everybody, is that we have rules that we need to follow. And every time people break it, we have a community outbreak. And this is what's going to happen if we don't adhere to those strict rules and regulations come Christmas time, Hanukkah, and all these holidays that are coming up. You probably remember what happened on Victoria Day.
Mayor, would you be stepping up enforcement in Vaughan then for those who don't follow the rules?
Yeah, absolutely. But I do think that the education has occurred for how many months now? We've been telling people what they should be doing. Hand sanitizers, physical distancing, avoid large groups. I mean, I think by now everybody knows what they need to do. There comes a point in time, just like when you were in school, you had your course, and at the end you have to pass the exam. Right now, the educations of the virus, more or less, we know what we need to do, and we need now to pass the test of responsibility, the test of making sure that we're there for each other, that we're not spreading, and to follow rules so that we don't endanger our personal lives and the lives of others. It's about crystal clear. It doesn't get any clearer than this. If people don't see what's occurring, if they don't see the fact that now we are in a lockdown and we weren't last week, we need to be responsible, and we need to also appeal really to people's common sense and intelligence. And I know that there's a lot out there, a lot of intelligence and common sense. We tend, Stephanie, to speak about people, the minority of people that do not follow the rules. But the vast majority of people, I am so impressed by the vast majority of people and businesses and people in the healthcare, the frontline workers. I've been impressed throughout this process. Unfortunately, as we both know, there are those who believe that they can write their own rule books. And then as a result, we are faced with a lockdown. So I do think that zero tolerance pretty soon is going to be coming.
All right, Mayor Bevilacqua, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Stephanie, stay safe.
And you. And we do have a